Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay McCrae and I am the lead fundraiser for the Saanich Legacy Foundation on the Little Spirits Garden project. And I wanted to tell you my story and a little bit about the garden. My first pregnancy was smooth sailing and I was very blessed to have a little baby girl we named Lauren. She was happy and healthy and no problems. When she was about 18 months old, my husband and I decided to start trying for baby number two. And we had very quick success. We were very excited, and although I knew the rates of miscarriage before 12 weeks were high, I couldn't resist telling family and friends. So we did. And then at about 9 weeks, I started to get some spotting, and I was terrified, of course, and we went to our local walk-in clinic, and I was told that I was likely miscarrying, but there was nothing they could do about it. They could do nothing to stop it. That nature just had to take its course. And those words, they've stayed with me. They have haunted me. And what happened over the next 2 days was really graphic and physically painful and utterly heart-wrenching. Those 2 days were only the beginning of my grieving process. It continues today. Because we told so many people about our great news, we had to now tell them that we had suffered a miscarriage. And although that was tough, surprisingly, the more women I spoke to about my experience, the more I learned there are so many other people who had gone through it. And I was far from alone, far from it. In Greater Victoria, each and every year, about 500 families suffer pregnancy or infant loss. We think 450 of those are miscarriages, and about 50 of those are both stillbirth and infant loss. Generally, 1 in 4 pregnancies end in miscarriage or stillbirth or infant loss. Not only is this loss traumatic at the time it occurs, but the grief continues for a lifetime. Jill Daverin, she's our maternity services social worker at Victoria General Hospital, and she says it does not matter if parents lost their baby 50 years ago or 5 hours ago. The grief of the loss of a baby before birth is often lifelong, raw, and ever-present, laying just below the surface of the parent's heartbeat. As we've raised awareness about the project, I have heard many stories of loss from across the country. Stories of one miscarriage, like myself, and stories of miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage. Stories of stillbirths and infant loss shortly after birth. Each story is very different in its circumstance and grief, but each story is equally heartbreaking. Moms who held their baby as it took both its first and last breaths in the space of just a few minutes. Parents who signed both a birth and a death certificate in the very same day. Death is considered to be one of the very last taboos in our society, and it's especially so when that death is of a pregnancy or an infant. This garden is the first of its kind in Canada, the first garden to be specially purposed for families who are grieving the loss of a pregnancy or an infant. So here's the deal. The public memorial space will be available to everyone in Greater Victoria, regardless of financial circumstance and no matter when or where they may have suffered this loss. Little Spirits Garden will be accessible to everyone, that's our goal, of any age, faith, culture, sexuality, and regardless of the circumstances of the loss. Our goal is to provide full use of the garden to families at little to no cost. That is what your donation will go toward making happen. This past fall, we were really honored to have October 15th proclaimed as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day in BC, the first time that's ever happened, and the province donated a check for $100,000, which was lovely, and to mark and honor the date, we held a candlelight vigil to honor those little spirits that we've lost in our community. We had over 50 people attend, and we hope that the vigil will become an annual event, and it will grow and become, an annual event with lots of impact on the citizens of the community. We recently launched an advertising campaign to run from March to the end of June, and the aim of the campaign is to raise awareness about pregnancy and infant loss while also raising funds for Little Spirits Garden. So our work is paying off. In addition to significant media coverage, we're also seeing support on our Facebook page and support from businesses, individuals, organizations, you name it, from all across the country. We are well on our way, but we do need your help. We need you to donate. We need you to share this video. We need you to join our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and help us raise awareness about not only pregnancy and infant loss, but about Little Spirits Garden. It's a physical place. It really is just a thing, but to someone who has felt so alone and so lost, it is so much more than just a garden. I'll be able to stand in the middle of the garden and look up at all the cedar flags that are hung in memory of pregnancies and infants lost, and know that I'm not alone, that there are others who have stood where I stand. Little Spirits Garden will be a place for families to connect, to a place where there's no stigma to the words miscarriage, stillbirth, and infant loss. A place where families mourn in peace, where families can give their little spirit a place to rest for all of time. To me, Little Spirits Garden will be the place I can take comfort in the fact that I am not alone. Please give these families a place to grieve.